Of course, I'm competing. I gotta be entertaining, interesting to keep your attention. Provider.
Thoughtful,
I gotta do all of this to compete to get to the top of the rank. And y'all feel like y'all can't compete for the quality.
They just figured it out. Well, these two did. I don't know about her, but they just figured it out. I think one of the things when we have these type of discussions, I think men, we have to get better with articulating our points, our point of view, our perspective. Because again, most women have no knowledge of the male experience. This is why this whole competition thing is foreign to them. Because wait, I gotta compete for a man? No, I got a bunch of them in my DMs. No, I'm good. They all want me, and I can just pick the best one. For sex, yes. Relationships, though? Welcome back to Money, Marriage, and Media. I'm Mike, and we are back with the Daily Wrap-Up Crew. Part 3 of, what is this called again? It's modern dating, basically, right? 3 essential topics. The reason why we're looking at this is because the gender war is dumb. And we need to start being able to break down these topics through high-level conversation so that we can move past it and actually start to build again. Let's go ahead and get started.
Yeah, so let me get to this next one because I never even heard of these before, but I'm gonna bring them up just to maybe I might have heard of them. So this next one is called haunting. It sounds crazy, like you've been haunting me or some shit, like
Joe. Sounds some shit.
So it says basically this is when a person who has ghosted someone continues to stalk their social media or online presence. This can be done to see if a person has moved on, just to keep tabs on them.
That's women again.
That's what exes
that's women again. Y'all make fake pages all the time to see what the fuck the nigga doing.
Oh my God.
The only other page I have is my what?
You making a lot of some like dudes gonna be stalking.
I'm pretty sure it is. I'm not gonna cap. I'm pretty sure some dudes.
You everything good over there? Like,
nah, it just sounds like somebody I know.
That's interesting.
It's crazy.
So wait, that is a dating.
Like trend, apparently, like you know what I'm saying, like
that's a trend.
So
you know, like they're looking at your page.
I know.
So you go.
I've never heard of it called that. I'm a little bit older though, because I'm in my 40s, and back in the day we would call that cyber stalking. And I think he might have read it wrong. I think this is when you're the person that got ghosted and you keep trying to follow the person that ghosted you. You trying to figure out, what they've been doing. You check it up on their social media and find out, I think that's what, because it didn't come off that way when he read it, but I think that's what it is. And if that's the case, I'd actually put this one on men more than women.
Ghosted them already, but you still want to check on them.
You still want to check on them to make sure, just to see what they up to in life.
I hope not. I hope it's not happening.
I think I know what you're talking about. I can't put my finger on it.
But so y'all never looked at your ex's social media just to see.
I don't have the ex, so no.
You don't have an ex?
Yeah.
That's a red flag.
Word.
How you don't got an ex?
You never been in a relationship?
I don't need.
Matter of fact,
I'm not.
You never been in a relationship?
No.
Translation: I've never been able to get commitment from a man. Again, what does that sound like? Because something's telling me she's not a virgin. So you just randomly hooking up with guys? Is that what's going on here? This is just sad. She's an attractive woman too. So that may be. Maybe she's not trying to get commitment. Again, this gives off the vibe that, well, I'm just young and I want to be free. It's my body, my choice, and I can give it to whoever I want to. Not realizing that type of attitude lowers your value in men's eyes. So if you're trying to get married at some point in your life, I don't know. Because if let me take that back. It depends on the quality of man that she would be looking for. Because if, she ain't got that high standards, you looking for like an average or below average man, with her looks, they'll definitely go for that. Yeah, 100%. But we don't know her standards. Let me stop because I might be way off base here. Let's go.
Red flag.
No,
That's
I
not a red
just
flag.
know what
That
I
is a
want.
red flag.
If I'm not gonna waste my time.
You don't.
You don't know what you want because you've never really been in a relationship.
I know what I want.
But you can know what you want, but you don't know
It
how.
doesn't take long. It doesn't take a week. It doesn't take 3 days.
But you
It doesn't take
you
long for
also
me to
don't know what that man might want. It's not just about you in a relationship.
Yeah, but
and you need
we're not on the
experience.
same page. It's
But
nothing there.
how are we on the same page if we're only concerned about what you want?
No. Okay, why would I get into something if me and the person that is not on the same
Because
page?
you already know what you want. I didn't hear the other part. That's what I'm saying.
No. I follow suit when I feel like that person I want to invest. I'm making sure that person is the person that I want to put my time and energy into and have that dynamic going. So if that's exactly, so I have to have a standard too.
Can I ask you a question? Standard. Do you think your standards are high?
No.
Can I ask what are you looking for?
Great question.
Honest person, independent, ambitious man who has his own and has a lot.
I hate when women say that. I'm looking for an ambitious man. You know what's interesting about that? Malik just started working at the local fast food restaurant. He's at the Burger King. Last week he was mopping the floor. This week he's learning the fries. Next week he's going to be a shift manager he's going from making $8 an hour to $10. That's ambition. You think most women get excited about that? See, we got to stop using these ambiguous terms. We got to stop letting women use these ambiguous terms and get down to the brass tacks. Because that is oh boy. Let's go.
Going for himself.
A lot, you mean?
Educated, spiritual, just foundational things that you can build on.
And you never found it?
No.
That's wild, crazy. Okay.
No, it's not.
that is
crazy.
That is crazy.
I'm confused. Huh? I don't think.
No, it's not crazy because what did she actually say that you can define? She gave us a bunch of ambiguous terms, and now I guarantee you, because those are very general. There's a lot of men out here like that. So something else is disqualified. She's using to disqualify this man. She may not say it on camera, but yeah, no, there's something else there. This is why you got to get when in conversations like this, you got to ask women specifically what they just set the bar and see where it is. This is why that whole thing of, well, how much money does he need to make? Because that's an instant qualifier that said that we can unit that has units of measurement to it. And then you can find out, wait a minute now. Because I don't believe her. You've never been in a relationship? Well, how are you? And the things that you said, there are a lot of guys out here like that. And none of them, if what she says is true, then that means that the men that she's met like that are not interested in gaining commitment from her. Which means that her standards are probably too high because she doesn't qualify for a relationship with the guys that she's looking for. I don't know. Maybe they'll ask us some more follow-up questions and we can actually get to the bottom of that. But yeah.
You said it's a lot?
No,
I said that's crazy that you haven't ran into nobody.
Do you have these same standards for like niggas trying to get the pussy? Do you got those same standards too, or
what do you mean?
Like if a nigga fucking, do he have to have those same standards too, or is just like I'm sexually liberated, it's my body, my choice? Like,
if I feel like, yeah.
Oh God.
So you got more standards for a relationship than you got for your body.
No.
That's what it sounds like.
I'm not saying I'm out here fucking every and anybody. No.
You just fucking anybody that you want to.
No. Yeah. They have to be they have to be okay, look. It's a difference between being in a relationship, right? And
they figured it out.
Dating around.
What's this question? We gotta go back to the question.
I'm trying to make sure that I'm saying the right thing. Like,
you trying
if I'm not in a relationship.
Sister Code just kicked in. They trying to come to her rescue, but she just told on herself. Let's just say she just told, they figured out the same thing that we figured out that we talked about before. It's like, hold on, you ain't never been in a relationship. Translation, you're just out here having sex with guys. You like them, the guys that you like, you can have sex with them, but you don't have relationship skills enough for them to say, okay, well, yeah, she will be good long term. They just in it for the short term, which means, well, look, let me take that back. Either you're not bringing enough to the relationship, you're not bringing enough qualifications to that guy for him to offer you commitment, or let me stop because I'm assuming too much. Let's just.
As she said, I can do what I want.
Setting my girl up.
And I have choices. And I make choices accordingly. Now, if we're talking about a man that I actually choose and to build with, then that requires a different type of energy. So if I am single, which I am now, and I have choices. I have choices. I feel like that part is up to the man too. Like as far as building, like if I'm actually going to be in a relationship, it has to be mutual.
So you said you follow suit, right? Yeah. So you found men that you were interested in, but they was playing games, kind of. Mm-hmm. All right, so you found men that with those qualities, but they was just playing around.
Of course, they have other women probably. I don't know what they're doing.
Her standards are too
I know
high.
that they didn't say, "Can I be your girlfriend? Can you be my girlfriend?"
So
I know they're not putting a ring on my finger.
So like
bills,
you said, you willing to compete for that man that you want?
No, I'm not competing for
Exactly.
So how?
Why is she competing? For what? What the hell? Why are you competing?
Because if she don't,
just
she gonna be
said
fucking
the man that she wants got
infinity beyond.
options. So obviously you got to compete for that man.
First of all, why am I competing? This is not what's that movie? Hunger Games. Listen, I'm not competing, and I'm not doing any of that. You say what you want.
You single?
Boy.
So yes, I am. Okay. And if you gotta tell me what you want. What the hell am I playing games for? Like I would never.
But you expect
chase
the man to compete for you, right?
If we're on the same page, define what's competing. You gotta define what that is.
You ain't the definition.
No, we gotta.
Now she need a definition. When I said
what do you mean? What do you mean by competition? Like, what do you mean? Competing.
Showing them.
He just Keem explained it. He said that the guys that you're interested in, they obviously have options. They have other girls, and she actually mentioned that. But what you're bringing to the table, I think we can go ahead and pretty much break down, the redhead situation here. Her standards are too high. The guys that she wants a relationship and commitment from are not choosing her over the other option of over the other women that they have as options. Translation, you don't qualify. Now, does that mean that she's never going to get married if that's even a goal of hers? No, it doesn't. Because she can go out there and so what you call it, level up is, I'm really starting to dislike that term. But she can go out there and do self-improvement to make herself a better option. And i.e., that would be competing for the guy that she wants, right? There's nothing that says you can't do that because unfortunately, most women don't get that mindset until they hit 30, and then it's the whole until they hit the proverbial wall, right? And their looks start to fade, and they realize that, oh, wait a minute, you mean men want? I might want to develop a personality or something like that because there's younger women who are more attractive, and I don't have it like I used to. Unfortunately, this is why I say we need to do a better job of raising our kids because we need to do a better job of raising them to work in cooperation with each other, meaning that relationship skills have to develop over time. It's not something you just start, last year, I'm going to work on myself and now I'm a better partner. No, these things take time to develop. And the sooner you start, the better. So, now we've got what's happening here is the sister code is kicked in, and now they're trying to come and save her. But I mean, we're talking about her past, so I don't know how you clean that up and try and I don't know. Let's find out though, right?
Man, why he should choose you? Yeah, why he should choose you over other women?
First of all, if we're dating, we're having conversations, you should be gathering data. I'm not here to audition for you, and vice versa.
You actually are.
Okay, I get
is
that
audition,
standpoint,
basically,
but I'm not. It's not like a job interview. So why are you here? Like, it's a conversation and we're getting to know each other. Mm-hmm. So you should be gathering all this data as to why you want to date me.
Yeah.
So I'm not. It sounds like you're saying, oh,
spoken like a woman who is in her sexual marketplace value prime. The men qualify for me because I am the prize. You better come correct before you come step to me. And that's fine. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I agree with that, actually. The men need to put their best foot forward. The problem is that, again, men control access to relationships or marriage. But again, if you're a woman and you're not looking to get married, then none of that matters. And I'm starting to suspect this is the case with this woman. Now, the other two, I don't know. This woman in the middle hasn't really said anything, and I think it might be because she's trying to keep quiet about her personal life. She doesn't want to say too much because she might be concerned about getting embarrassed, which, don't go on a podcast then because, you have to talk. But, yeah, this is... All right, let's keep going. This part 3. This is the last part. So make sure you guys are subscribing to the channel so we can do more breakdowns like this. Because, yeah, wow.
Please pick me because No, if we're having a conversation, you're getting to know me, my qualities. Like, you know what I'm saying? We're having conversations. We're asking each other questions. So that's it.
But sometimes, you got to put in the extra effort.
What's the extra effort?
I think it's interesting when we talk about competing because women will compete in every form, whether it's her job, whether it's her education, whether it's everything else. But when it comes to the quality of man that she wants for her life, she's unable to compete. I think
he should be chasing her.
What is competing for you? Like, how does a woman compete?
Yeah, like what?
Dating you?
A woman that would compete would show me what qualities she has to offer me in a successful long-term relationship that's going to separate her from the other women outside of just I'm a woman and I have a pussy.
How do I know what the other woman has?
It's not about what you know what the other. It's what you need to show yourself.
If I don't know what other women are doing,
it's not about.
I can't compete because I don't know what.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, by being your best self.
I am being myself, but to look at it from a lens of I'm competing with this girl, the girl he's talking to that I don't even know.
That's comparing. That's comparing. That's comparing.
What is competing?
Because you're comparing yourself to the other woman.
I don't know them. No. I'm saying you look.
Men don't know the other men that we compete against, and we still got to show our best.
Exactly.
We got to show up.
You're not competing.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, it's a competition.
Yes, it is.
You just got 20 niggas in your DM. Of course, I'm competing. I gotta be entertaining, interesting to keep your attention.
Provider.
Thoughtful, I gotta do all of this to compete to get to the top of the rank. And y'all feel like y'all can't compete for the quality.
They just figured it out. Well, these two did. I don't know about her, but they just figured it out. I think one of the things when we have these type of discussions, I think men, we have to get better with articulating our points, our point of view, our perspective. Because again, most women have no knowledge of the male experience. That's why this whole competition thing is foreign to them. Because wait, I gotta compete for a man? No, I got a bunch of them in my DMs. No, I'm good. They all want me, and I can just pick the best one. For sex, yes. Relationships, though, you might be in for a surprise there.
Be a man that y'all want.
Pause. So for a man who has a plethora of women,
those women are competing. I'll tell you that.
That's a fact.
How are they? So you said they're competing
with each other?
What you said was no.
They're.
What you said was she's showing you qualities X, Y, and Z. You're finding that out through dating. So what is
dating? You telling me what you could offer me in a relationship and doing it is two different things.
I'm not telling you what I'm doing in a relationship. I'm talking to you.
Okay, we're having a conversation. You're like, oh, I'm feminine. I'm submissive.
I'm not saying that.
That's nice to say. So what are we having a conversation for?
Hold on, pause. I need to know how you're having conversations in real life. Hi, my name's Amira. I'm a very feminine woman.
No, but in conversation, these things come up.
You see that. You see that. I don't need to tell you I'm feminine. You see it.
But it's also good to be informed if you don't see it. Because you said not to assume. When you assume, it makes an ass out of you and me. So help me out. If I don't see it, pitch yourself, right?
Let me give you an example.
To a man to be like, you're not.
Let me give you an example.
Yeah, I feel like I don't be scared.
A lot of women.
If a girl be like, "Oh, like I want to be your man," and this way, like,
woman be like,
A woman can never say that to me.
A woman be like, what?
Yeah.
like
A woman be like,
if a
what?
woman comes up to you and they're like, "Oh, I want to be your man."
Why she want to be my man?
I could do
See,
this.
why
and
that's
this,
this question? She competed.
Why is a woman trying to be a man?
See, damn,
Y'all hypocrites.
Come on.
Are y'all listening? See, this how I know y'all don't listen. Y'all don't listen.
She had to have gotten that wrong. And this is, they just proved another point here, is that they're arguing just to argue. Because they didn't even listen to what she said. They just, sister code. That's what's going on here. She's trying to save her and didn't even hear the argument.
A woman come up to me and tell me that she want to be my man.
One mic.
If a woman walk up talking about she want to be my man, she out the competition. Like, that's it.
We always talk about.
You made a mistake. Okay,
You know I made a mistake.
You said it twice.
We always talk about black women being masculine, and y'all over there talking about I want to be a man.
If a woman came to you and said, "I want to be your girl because I have this going on, and I can offer you this and that and the third." That's what you want. You wouldn't be scared of that.
That's not what I want. I want you to show me. Like,
He just said
No.
He just said write it down. He just said write it down.
You can't tell me that. You can't tell me that.
I'm sorry.
You can't tell me that.
you said write it down.
I want to be your girl.
He just said I don't want you to show
I would accept that. I would value the fact that you had I would value that the fact that you had confidence enough to come tell me that you're interested in me. First of all, because I feel like I'm special. Because most women don't come up to a man and tell them how they feel about them.
Facts.
Look, she shouldn't.
Look,
curve, swerve.
Look at the fella. The fella's there like.
She shouldn't.
So look, I would.
See, again, if you're not looking for a relationship from a man, which means that what are you looking for? I want to be free to do whatever I want to do and give my body to whoever I want to give it to. Okay, there you go.
Appreciate that, and I would actually want to find out more about you, because if you selling me all of this and you're telling me all this, that's when I'll start fact checking you on. Oh, you say you do this. You say you do that.
Okay.
You know what? He is right, because when you ask women what they could bring to a relationship, they never have answers for you. So if you could lay out what you could bring to a relationship and it's actual tangible things that I want in a relationship,
I have a question.
Real quick, I'm gonna tell you one thing.
What can you as men bring to a relationship? I would like to know that.
That's easy.
Gender War 101. We're talking about women, and the accountability is too much. Switch the conversation to the men. Y'all need to get some accountability now, because this is too hot. I can't take this conversation. Moving the goalposts. Gender War 101. Put the blame back on the men. It's a shame, too, because they were actually starting to get somewhere in the conversation, but clearly it was too much heat.
To know that before I get it.
That's easy.
What are you bringing into the relationship?
Provided. Protecting you.
Spend some money? You spending money?
What woman's gonna be with a man that's not?
I'm just clarifying. Keep going.
Okay, protecting.
Arguing just to argue. Because literally, you remember in that other video where she told what she was looking for. Okay, well, clearly that's what the guys are bringing that you want relationships from, even though you can't get them. You can't get commitment from these guys because, your value is just not high enough. Your standards are too high. You don't qualify for the things for the type of man that you want. And now she's going to ask, well, what do y'all bring to what do men bring to the table? And what? We just talked about that. Again, we need to change the subject, because what you guys were saying is that, well, wait a minute, we have accountability. We as women have accountability for the men that we date. Yes, you do.
You? No, I mean, being emotionally there for you, or you need somebody to talk to, listening to all your emotional stories that you gotta tell me throughout the day. You know what I mean?
satisfying you sexually.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
saying, but-
That should have been the first time. That
Basic
should have been
ass
providing.
things. This does not make sense.
Yeah, but that's the things that y'all
Hold
look
on,
for.
pause.
Wait.
Hold
So-
on, wait. I got a question because this don't make sense. I'm on a date and I'm saying, okay, so what can you bring to me? Like, that's not how I'm asking you a question.
Men don't
like,
ask-
that's just so weird.
Who?
And then two, if everything, all right, you say you providing things like that's cute, right? Now,
Yeah, again, we're changing the narrative. Nobody ever said that they're going to ask the women that. If I'm not mistaken, they said that they would be impressed if the woman brought those things up, which I agree with because most women don't. But if you have a woman who is willing to initiate that conversation with you, it's going to make her stand out. But now we change the subject again because see, this is what I mean by high level conversation, because we got to start. Like, this is a great conversation. It would be even better if the women actually had valid points instead of just trying to move the accountability and put it on the men. Like, we don't, But again, who's talking now? Is she actually looking for marriage or some kind of long term commitment? I can't tell if she is.
now let's like in this modern women, whatever, right?
Right.
We're most likely we're out earning men a lot of the time.
That's not true. That's
Incorrect.
I could bring
Can
up the
I
data on
finish?
that.
Can I finish? Can I
No,
finish?
no,
Can I
now when
finish?
you lying?
Can I finish?
We got it. No.
You're not talking
All
about
right.
facts.
No.
Bro. You're not talking about
Anyways,
facts.
That's not facts.
okay, fine. Hypothetical. I out earn you. Okay.
You're gonna be single for a while. I ain't gonna hold you.
I can't even. You not even let me finish.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So what I was saying is, right? You're providing. Okay, yes. I feel like at the end of the day, men and women should have their own money, right?
Okay.
And this current climate that we're in, it's not. What's
What
the
does
word?
that have to do with the conversation?
It's not. It shouldn't be expected that I'm not going to assume that. I don't think that it's fair to say I want a man to cover all of my bills because I just know that in this current climate that we're living in, that's not a thing, right?
Okay.
So you're saying that you could provide. What if it's roles reverse and I have to provide for you and we're in a relationship in this phase,
That's
not in the
good for me to
beginning.
know.
So I need to be able to provide too. So women are also providing as well. So like I don't.
In the scenario you talking about, then you.
I mean, it happens in the course of a
You ever dated
relationship.
somebody that you make more money than?
No, she get all her facts
I
from
wonder if he
these
did.
black
I never even
feminists
said
who
you-
swear to God that they
You going in? That's a projection.
No, it is
That is a
because
projection.
every time on this show,
You said more than likely I'm
Okay, sorry. I'm sorry. I misspoke. Okay, I don't know. What's the average salary of a black man right now?
more than a black woman.
more than a black woman.
How much
Average,
is
average
it?
salary for a black man is 50,000, and the average salary for a black woman is
It's 40.
43,000.
No, it's not.
Okay, well,
And
all
less
right.
than
Let's just say
less than 74% of black women earn less than $50,000 a year. So y'all not getting to this
where you
money
got that
like.
fact
Okay,
from?
so I
All
have-
right,
We can
bring
Google
up
it.
another
bring
We
up
can
question.
Google it.
statistics.
I will.
I got
I'll send
another
you it.
question.
Okay.
So what do you expect from
Interesting.
women? What is it? Like if you're on a date now, right? And you want this woman to compete on. I'm sorry, like, compete.
Such
right?
a foreign concept
What
to
are
them.
you? What's,
First of all, I'll
what's
let-
expect? What are you?
What does
gonna-
that look like? What does that look like?
What is she gonna say? Like,
It's not going. First of all, I know it's not going to be y'all because y'all going to get disqualified automatically. Like, you know what I'm saying? But
brother.
what it looks like is somebody that could offer utility to my life. You know what I mean? So when she said that, even about, I have my own money, I could contribute financially. I'm not asking you necessarily to pay all the bills, but that actually would be something valuable as an asset that in my relationship and my family. So I would take that into consideration over these other women who always talk about a man got to pay for everything or whatever the case is. You saying that, us having that conversation, me hearing that, elevate you to the list. Like, you get what I'm saying? So that's a good trait to have or something to even know. You get what I'm
Okay.
saying? So that is a form of competing. I think
you
women
have
look.
two women,
Mhm.
and this is probably gonna happen.
Why she cut him off?
You hear the same thing all the time,
Mm-hmm.
right?
So
You're
now
gonna
I-
hear the same thing.
So now I go by actions. If we on a date,
You're gonna
I'll give
have-
you an example. If we on a date and both of them say that, but if one offers, hey, you know what, I'll go half on you with the bill, and I'm not even going to allow it. But the fact that she even offered it is something that's going to
It's
go for
initiative.
I
is
think
initiative.
that it's funny that you are only talking about providing and bills and stuff like that. When it comes down to
Because she talk-
and this is what
she
I
talked
feel
about
like with
fine- she
men.
talked about money.
What about the toxicity?
Listen.
What about vibes?
You asked
What
me.
about
You asked me
how
if two
y'all
women are
connect?
saying the same thing. In her case, two women said
But
that they.
it's only about-
Listen. two women said the same thing about I could also provide and whatever the case is. Y'all both said the same thing. Now it goes to actions, right? So that will be an action. She offered to go half on the bill, even though I declined it. It was still, she followed up with action. So of course I'm gonna take that into consideration more than the other one.
We're gonna talk about actions now. Not every woman is gonna do the same thing.
Dude, she just arguing just to argue.
Women, say you have your list. There are women with different strengths. Women are gonna do different things. What it is all action. Now what it comes down to. How
Which
you gonna
one
choose?
I find it more compatible for my lifestyle, my situation.
Okay, so how you get into, what questions are you asking them?
Well, you got to ask if you're dating for a purpose. And with that conversation, then you can find out what's your ideal of a relationship. So when I find out, hey, this is what you're looking for a relationship, I can say, yo, I have some of those qualities. I'm this type of man. I can present this for you. And then at the same time, go ahead.
Sorry. I say the point to say, I feel like it's the role, we have to reverse it. I feel like the men, they have options as well. They have women that want them. They have women that do things for them. Plenty of women, they have options. And they don't choose. And they want their cake and
we just not choosing y'all.
And I'm not I don't want to be general.
She just confirmed what we already know. Again, she hasn't been in a relationship. Why? Because the men that she wants, she doesn't qualify for a long-term relationship with. They're not picking her. Now she's trying to justify it and blame it on the men. Well, you know, the reality is that if it was just one man, I could get that. But clearly, she's talking like somebody, like she's had multiple experiences about this. At some point, you got to start holding the mirror up and looking at yourself. You don't qualify for the men that you're messing with. That's why they're not trying to get in a relationship with you. They will continue to have sex with you and date the other women and do whatever. But I suspect that the guys who want commitment from her, she doesn't want them. And that's fine if you're not looking to get married. But again, marriage is the goal on this side of the camera. And most women want to be married. So it's not about who you can have sex with. It's about who you can retain a relationship with. So again, we need to do a better job of raising our children so that they are being raised to work in cooperation with each other, that they actually have relationship skills. Because again, you don't develop those overnight. They take time to put together. And even then, they're only going to be compatible with a small amount of people. We got to, man. Let's keep going. Well, I'm not going to make it to the end of this. We still got like, oh my God, it's still like 10 more minutes. We might be into this one early because this is getting crazy.
However, I do feel that if a man knows what he wants, knows who he is, then the woman is gonna follow. 9 times out of 10, a man will take you on a date and play games for real. They want to know that they like you.
Because you don't qualify for my.
It's not that they don't qualify.
You don't qualify for
what you want.
No.
No,
you don't qualify for what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a woman that's going to be into me, talking to me, communicating, respectful, loyal.
You doing a lot of us.
I can't
because you're asking.
No.
You're asking men.
I wasn't confident in that answer.
I'm telling you what I want. Just because I'm saying,
you can't ask me what they
how
want.
you chose somebody then?
I have a girl.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Damn,
you got that. I was trying to trip him up.
The thing is, when like someone will say.
Again, we stuck in the gender war. I'm looking for the gotcha moment. I'm trying to set you up because you made me look dumb when I answered this stuff, when I gave information about my previous, relationships or lack thereof. She thinks that they made her look stupid on the internet, so now she's trying to get back at them, not realizing that you made yourself look bad by the choices that you've been making. Again, when women come with these crazy stories or these outlandish stories about the men that they've been with in the past, always ask them, who vetted that man for you? Who vetted that man? That's you seriously got to start asking that.
Unfortunately, we hear this a lot in our community, right? Specifically with black women. I can be X, Y, and Z if I meet the right man, right? I believe if men meet the right woman, they would be providers. They will protect them. A lot of y'all women think y'all the right woman. Y'all are not.
See?
That's simple. Y'all might provide one thing in one area, but y'all don't provide in all areas. And y'all thinking, well, I'm doing this for him. Why isn't he choosing
You're
me?
speaking
Because
for
you're
all women. I'm confused. Yeah, let's define who this woman
No, we're
is.
speaking for that particular woman.
I'm saying
No,
that
that's what I'm
particular
asking
woman.
him to like who is this? Whose woman? What kind of woman this is?
The woman that's not
Sorry.
competing.
Hold on, Joe.
Nah, because I agree with him 100%. Like
you.
on my last relationship, we broke up, and at the end, I realized that I was just not the girl that he was gonna change for, and that's just how it is. That's all it comes down to.
That's valid.
Accountability.
That's
if
all
you're
it
in a
comes
date with
down
a guy
to.
and he's playing games with you, he either not ready to be in a relationship like you are, or he just don't want
Don't
you
see
to
enough
be with
value.
him.
He
Like,
don't
he's
see
just not
enough
ready.
value in you.
Yeah,
That's
that's
it.
all
Like,
it
was.
is. But it's not that you don't have value per se. You just don't have the value that he's
Right.
looking for.
Exactly.
But it constantly happens.
She got it. Hats off to her. She finally got one of them finally said it and saw through the BS. Now, why do I get the feeling that she's about to start making excuses? We need to put it back on the men. It's the men's fault. It's all the men's fault that I can't get in a relationship and I can't keep guys around. It's the men's fault because they don't know what they want. Why you keep picking guys that don't know what they want? Again, who vetted that man for you?
Might be timing too,
It
though.
constantly happens though. Why is it that this has to happen 50 times for you to
With the same guy?
No.
Oh,
What?
God, no. Like guys do this where
Somebody
they
better
date
say
a
it.
girl
Because you're
and then they
presenting-
go
because he just said
into
it. He just
There's
said
a-
what it is, though. It's
Somebody
time.
better
So
say
if
it.
he's gonna like have a little list of like
But I think
potential
it's,
ones and a list
it's
of
fair,
You
it's
asking,
unfair
you
to
asking
commit.
why guys date multiple women before they settle down?
No, I think that they should.
Okay, so we
I
can
don't
ask
think that it's fair to get into something with a woman
like a relationship.
and yes,
Okay.
and I know men that be in a relationship, know they want out of the relationship and continue the relationship, and that's just like
That's immaturity,
come
though.
on.
That's
and
immaturity.
it happens all the time.
But sometimes,
just moved
but
the
like I
goalposts
said,
again.
sometimes it be timing because a lot of men will meet a good girl early on in life and they're not ready for a relationship. So sometimes he just not ready for that, but he don't want to let her
That's
go because he
fine.
knows she a good girl. You
I
feel
mean,
me?
that's where you
That's-
establish.
Which is selfish. It's selfish.
I
It's
feel like
definitely
that's where
selfish.
you establish. Like my thing is like there's a lot of generalization on both sides. If you was, I mean, okay, I guess it's easier said than done. If you establish boundaries, like okay, you know, if I say I want a relationship and you said say that as well, but then you do the opposite, okay, then you led me on and you dead wrong. But if
I agree.
you're a guy, okay, you in your early 20s and you're not, and you know you play in the field or whatever, and if the woman doesn't, because sometimes I feel like girls could like a guy and they know that he's not ready to settle down in a relationship, so no one kind of says anything, and it is a lot of gray areas,
Right.
and then
Yeah.
people's emotions are involved. They're like, all right, then guys do this and girls do that, da da da.
Gender war. She's breaking it down. The question still stands though. Who vetted that man for you?
But it's sort of like, okay, both of us have to take responsibility for our actions, because if you're a guy, you know this girl really likes you and you know you're not really settled down with her, but you still playing,
But if
your reaction that you're going to get from her, what I'm saying is we both have to take our responsibilities, because if I start going crazy and you know I'm really into you and you know you're not into me in that way, you need to cut. If I was a dude, I would cut it off.
But you just said that you could tell when a dude into you and he not.
No. So, but there are
Y'all
some
are
girls
cowards.
that get their feelings really involved. Like, I really like this dude. You know, they
and that-
imagining
And
things.
that's why you gotta hold yourself
And-
accountable.
But
'cause
no,
you see,
no,
you
that's
see
true.
the
That's
signs.
what I'm agreeing with you. I'm like, she needs to hold her, take her L. But he also,
But he
if
also
he
need to
feels that way,
communicate that,
if I'm a dude and you already know how, all right, like you already know, like, listen, I'm not ready to settle down with this girl, and I see that she's really on me like that. Cut her off. You gotta say like,
no,
you gotta be
I'll
like,
let her know in the
you have
beginning
to
that I'm
say.
not
If
looking
I
for
let
anything
you
serious.
know, like, yo, I'm not looking for a
Which
relationship.
most men
But
do.
if you peep
Which
that she's
most men
catching,
do.
if you peep
Which
that
all
she's
men
catching
do.
feelings,
Which-
are you still gonna continue messing with her?
That's
she
not
gonna
my
keep giving me the
prerogative.
pussy, why not?
I told you
I-
upfront that I'm not ready
I'm
for a
not- that's what I'm
relationship.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
it's
I'm not disagreeing with you at all. But I'm saying if you know, so y'all both y'all both established things. Now my feelings, I'm into you and I'm still gonna mess with you. And now let's say even though you'll be valid in saying, oh, but I said I didn't want to do X, Y, and Z, but you know that I'm really into you and I'm not going anywhere. So you're also playing. You're also
I don't see that as playing.
You not playing?
Yo, it could be playing, but you have to take the step to remove yourself from a toxic situation.
I took the step
you
and
both have to take accountability.
Why am I holding myself accountable if I say I'm fucking you and fucking somebody else? So what?
Where I'm saying that you have to take accountability in is that she's more into you.
And you know too.
Okay. Didn't I just say she's taking her responsibility?
How?
How she still fucking?
All right, okay.
How is she taking accountability?
No, I'm not. I'm saying she has to. I don't know if she is or not. I never said she did.
My accountability is communicating to you that I do not want a relationship.
Now let's say, because let's say like there are some, like, let's say they're in their teens or whatever. Now she's upset. She found out you with another girl, and
she is really invested in this scenario. Is this personal for her? I mean, because look, don't get me wrong. Because this is not that serious. It's like they just talk. Like, I don't think she's actually listening to what they're saying. And it seems like she's just trying to come up with exceptions. That's why I asked if it's personal for her, because this doesn't seem like a general statement. The guys gave the generally what happens with men like that are doing stuff like that. They tell you up front, I'm not really looking for a relationship. But now she's saying that, well, that's the guy's fault because for stringing the girl along. Well, how is he stringing you along if he told you to begin with that he's not looking for a relationship? Now, if the woman is still following around and she's still hoping for a relationship from a guy who said that he's not interested, again, who vetted that guy for you? Why are you chasing? How much time do you want to waste? If you're looking to get married, how much time do you want to waste on a guy who is not marriage minded? You can't change his mind. You can't. Only he can do that. And when he's not going to do it before he's ready. This is a classic trap. But this is why I say the vetting process is broken in our community, because most fathers are not going to let their daughter waste their youth away with a guy like that. Not going to do it. But if we're in a situation where we're raising the women or the daughters, the young girls in our community not to trust the men in the family, then you get this situation like we're talking about now, where the girls think that, well, I'm independent. I can make my own decisions, even though we know I can pick my own husband, even though we know the divorce rate is over 50%. And the majority of the time it's women filing for the divorce because they're unhappy. You picked the wrong guy. Gotta do better.
She starts stabbing up your car. She was dead wrong, right? She had no right doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, look, there be some crazy stuff happening. She stabbed up your car. She marking your car F you, Jaden, whatever. Right? You just like, damn, this girl's crazy. You should have dated with her because you knew you wasn't feeling her that way. Like, that's what I was saying. That's what you need to take accountability.
I'm not gonna say this girl. I'm not gonna say this girl is crazy.
Y'all don't want to.
I'm gonna say this girl is going to jail.
What you doing? That's a fact.
You should, but y'all like that. You should have did it.
What you doing right now is taking the accountability away from the woman in that situation.
Did I say that?
You're saying that. You're saying I gotta take accountability and stop fucking her. Yes, but you're not saying she should take accountability and stop fucking me.
She should take responsibility and stop.
You that weak of a man that you can't. I'm sorry. I'm gonna say it.
Shame and language.
You still giving the pussy up.
You still gotta give it. Take it.
Yeah, I'm taking it. Give me the pussy right now. Give me the pussy for $1,000. My name Boozy. Give me the pussy for $1,000. Go live for the pussy right now. You sound stupid.
I think stupid. Like, I say that she's not.
Put your pussy on live for $1,000.
She is responsible. No one's taking away her responsibility.
Women get the access to sex.
By saying that,
we not fucking if you don't get the pussy.
Did you not hear what I said? We're gonna take back.
No,
back.
Hold on, y'all.
I said they both should.
One mic.
I'm saying y'all should run the tape back. I said they both should take accountability. I'm just focusing on one right now.
You said that. You said that.
Because I'm just focusing on men right now.
You're focusing on the fact that he didn't stop fucking up.
As hell.
No, I'm actually hard. Can
I phone a friend? Wolf, what you think, bro?
This is real soft right now. Y'all really in our feelings. Y'all so soft. Y'all mad because I just said. I'm focusing on a man right now. We could go focus on a woman.
Who's hurt more? Me?
Your car?
What?
My car? No, you're going to jail and you giving me pussy and you giving me now. So what did you? I'm saying I'm still getting pussy. So you're going to jail. What?
What? I'm so confused at what you're. I'm confused at what you're.
I said, who's hurting this more situation? She said, my car.
Yeah, both. First of all, what I'm trying to say is for men to avoid having to deal with a woman who's being irrational.
Granted.
You dead that's what I'm saying. You dead the relationship because it's like, do I want to deal with? Because you can't control anybody else's emotions. You can't control what they do. You can only control yourself, right?
And
all right, boom. Now, what I'm saying is, you have to. When I'm saying you can't control anybody else, you're only responsible for you. You dead the relationship because you don't know what that person is capable of doing.
Can I ask you a question? So let's say I take your advice and dead the relationship, and she get mad because I dead the relationship, and still scratches on my car. Then what?
Then she gonna make up another excuse why men need to do it earlier.
No,
I can't believe on her.
No, yes. Yeah. Hold on. If you said y'all dead the relationship, she still damaged your car, she has to take accountability for her actions.
She's gonna take it regardless.
Okay.
It's her actions.
Yes, from beginning to end. I never said she doesn't. Y'all and y'all feelings, y'all soft.
No, you not comprehending, bro. You're not comprehending.
Y'all man, y'all swear.
And the conversation has devolved into the shaming language of, oh, these guys, you never admit when men need to be held accountable because that woman messed up your car. You know what? I'm actually going to agree with her. Big surprise, right? Yeah, you picked the wrong one. Who vetted that woman for you? Again, when men got these sob stories and they tell how this girl that messed them up, who vetted that woman for you? Who vetted her before you started having sex with her? Look, we're going to end it here because this conversation is getting wild and it's crazy. And I don't, the gender war I can only take so much of the gender war because it's still dumb. It's like, we still need each other. So what are we arguing about? If we devoted as much energy to actually working through our issues with potential partners as we do is arguing and going back and forth on shows like this, we wouldn't have to rebuild our community. It would be built already, right? So look, ultimately, this conversation is about the vetting process. The vetting process is one of the social constructs that's broken in our community. And it's not going to get fixed overnight. Granted, I'll give you that. But one of the best things we can do right now is use the tools that are already readily available that we just skip over. If you're a woman, your father, or if most of you don't have father, that's fine. The patriarch in your family, right? Why are they not helping you select a mate for or a spouse? They should be involved in the selection process. Why? Because men are great at vetting other men. We don't get caught up in, and we don't get hung up on, well, yeah, how tall is he? We don't care how fine he is, right? What we're looking for is that man a husband? Does he possess husband qualities? Is he looking for a wife, or is he just telling you that to continue to have sex with you? See, we can read through men's BS. We're not going to believe it doesn't work like that. And on the same token, guys, if you're out here looking for a wife, go talk to your mom. Introduce her to your mom. Preferably, you want this works the best when your mom is married. But if she's not married, then you need to find a woman in your family who is. If you don't have any, then I would suggest that you need to go to the oldest. You need to go to the matriarch of the family, the woman, grandma, who is, still has all her mental capacities. Yeah, because you need to know if what this woman is talking about, if it's all talk, or does she have wife skills? It's the same thing. Like I said, these resources are readily available for us. We're just not doing it for whatever reason. And it's mostly because, personal opinion, I think it's because we were raised to be soldiers in the gender war. Instead, what we need to do is do a better job of raising our children to work in cooperation with one another. But look, guys, this is definitely a great conversation. If you want to see me break down more of these, we need more subscribers. Thousand subs, that's the goal, right? But until then, I'm going to say goes to the next time. Peace.